Hello, I'm Archibald Chesterfield III, and welcome to my new exciting series, The Humble Billionaire. This series is based on my 10 hours I spent with the Humble Billionaire. And the first thing I want to talk about is luxury cars. Luxury cars. And the Humble Billionaire, he very kindly provided a long wheelbase S400 for Archie to gin around in. But I started pressing him about automobiles, and he said to me nothing shits him off more than his fucking previous 7 Series where the fucking check engine light kept coming on. He said it just gave him the fucking shits. He also said BMW X5s, that's the SUVs, he said once they're 5 years old, they're nothing but fucking trouble. He said it just gave him the fucking shits that the fucking thing was always in the fucking mechanic's place. He said to me, you know, his favourite car is his Honda, his 7-year-old Honda CR-V. He said, you want a car to work? Buy a Honda. He said, you know, if he had his choice, instead of the S400, he'd much rather have a fleet of Honda Accords. He said they're much more economical. He said, yes, the Mercedes is comfortable. He said, but on a bang per buck basis, they're actually a very, very poor investment. And it's quite fascinating. He did say to me, he said, look, he needs to have an S400. I mean, he said to me, he said, look, people come into town to see him. You've got to send a Mercedes to pick them up. You can't get it in a Honda. They'll say, oh, what's wrong with him? But he said, you know, as far as his own personal choice goes, once the snobbery of the Benz logo has evaporated, once you really don't give a shit, you realise it's not really worth the money. And he actually said to me, he said, you know, in Singapore, because he actually went to school in Singapore for a lot of his education, he said he can understand why people don't buy cars, they buy watches. He said a Corolla's $100,000. He said for $100,000 I'd rather buy a Richard Mille. He said a car is just a consumable. He doesn't see car as an asset. He said they're just a liability. And he said, look, he really can't see the point in having a Bentley or a Ferrari. He actually likes the Hondas. He said, you want a reliable car, buy a Toyota or a Honda. This is coming from a billionaire. He said to me, luxury cars don't make you rich. He said they'll make a billionaire very, very humble. And I got to tell you, there's a certain I can draw parallels with myself. Benzes, BMWs, they're fucking trouble. They are trouble. They're highly expensive. He said to me, there's too much technology in them. There's so much technology that you really don't need this technology. And he said to me, it's all, he said, yes, it's nice, it's comfortable, it is what it is, but you don't really need it. You don't, and when this technology gets old, it breaks down. And I got to tell you, he's got a good point there. He's got a good point. This technology is fucking expensive. Fucking expensive. And nothing more shits off a billionaire than the fucking check engine light on his 7 Series. Nothing fucks off a billionaire more than the check engine light coming on continuous fuckingly. I'm ArchieLuxury. This has been the first video in the Humble Billionaire series. Tell me what you nasty, vicious, foul-mouthed fuckers think of that. Nice one, Archie. Great vid.